Maple Street was known for its tranquility, a haven of peace in a bustling world. The gentle breeze rustled through the oak trees, their leaves whispering secrets only the wind could decipher, creating a symphony of nature. Children's laughter echoed from manicured lawns as the aroma of freshly cut grass filled the air, a scent that signaled the start of summer. It was the kind of street where neighbors knew each other by name, where front porches were meant for sharing stories, laughter, and lemonade. Kim, with her infectious laughter and a heart bigger than the sun, was the embodiment of Maple Street's spirit, always spreading joy. Kim had a way of bringing people together. She organized block parties, volunteered at the local library, always eager to help, and always had a kind word for everyone she met, making each person feel special. Her smile, radiant and warm, could brighten even the cloudiest of days, a beacon of light in our lives. She was the glue that held our little community together, a reminder that even in the busyness of life, there was always time for kindness and connection. Every morning, Kim would jog down Maple Street, her blonde ponytail bouncing in rhythm with her steps, a familiar sight to all. She'd wave to Mrs. Henderson tending her roses, a daily ritual they both cherished, offer a friendly hello to Mr. Thompson walking his beagle, always stopping for a brief chat, and pause to admire the birdhouses young Emily next door had painted, encouraging her creativity. Maple Street was more than just a street. It was a tapestry woven with the threads of shared moments, warm smiles, and a sense of belonging. We were a family, bound not by blood, but by the invisible ties of shared dreams and a love for our little corner of the world. And at the heart of it all was Kim, her spirit as bright and enduring as the stars that twinkled above our quiet suburban haven. Little did we know, a storm was brewing, a storm that would shatter the peace of Maple Street and leave an emptiness that could never be filled. The screeching tires pierced the serenity of the evening, shattering the calm. A deafening crash, metal crunching against metal, echoed through the neighborhood, sending shockwaves. The sound was like nothing we had ever heard on Maple Street, a jarring intrusion into our peaceful existence, a nightmare come true. Fear, cold and sharp, gripped our hearts as we rushed out of our homes, drawn to the commotion at the end of the block, our minds racing. The sight that greeted us was one of chaos and terror, a scene from our worst fears. A mangled car, its headlights still illuminating the growing darkness, rested against a twisted oak tree, a grim monument. Debris littered the road, a grim testament to the force of the impact, scattered like fallen leaves. But it was the sight of a crumpled figure lying motionless on the asphalt that sent a collective gasp through the crowd, freezing us in place. Time seemed to stand still as paramedics frantically worked, their faces etched with a grim determination, every second crucial. Whispers, filled with fear and uncertainty, rippled through the crowd. Who was it? How did it happen? Is it Kim? Questions without answers. The questions hung heavy in the air, unanswered, as the ambulance, its siren wailing, sped away into the night, leaving us behind. We stood there, a community united in shock and disbelief, the echo of the crash still reverberating in the silence that followed, a haunting memory.
Picture this: lush green lawns, perfectly pruned hedges, houses bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. It's the American dream distilled into a single idyllic image. But what if I told you this picturesque scene masked a darker reality? A reality where seemingly innocuous neighborhood associations wield an almost unbelievable amount of power? We'll expose the tactics, the loopholes, and the downright injustices that plague homeowners across the country. Buckle up, folks. Things are about to get litigious.
So you've finally done it. You've scrimped, saved, and endured years of agonizing open houses.
See, nestled within that mountain of paperwork you signed, and let's be honest, who actually reads all that, are the bylaws of your new H.O.A. overlords. These deceptively dull documents dictate everything from the acceptable color palette of your front door to the permissible height of your petunias.
You might be thinking, okay, a little paint regulation, what's the harm? But these seemingly benign rules can quickly spiral into a Kafka-esque nightmare.
And the worst part? These HOAs often operate with a level of impunity that would make even a corrupt politician jealous. They can slap you with fines, place liens on your property, and even force you into foreclosure.
But it gets worse, folks. Some HOAs have taken their tyranny to a whole new level.
Imagine this, you're diligently paying your HOA fees every month, believing they're going towards maintaining the community pool and keeping the sidewalks free of rogue weeds. But then, the unthinkable happens. The pool is suddenly closed for urgent repairs, the weeds are reaching shoulder height, and the HOA's bank account is looking emptier than a politician's promise.
It turns out your hard-earned money wasn't being used to regrout the pool or purchase weed killer. It was allegedly lining the pockets of unscrupulous HOA board members.
And when homeowners dare to question these shady dealings, they're often met with stonewalling and intimidation tactics.
Chapter 3, the courts where justice goes to die slowly.
So, you've been wronged by your HOA. They've slapped you with bogus fines or drained the community coffers.
Well, here's the bad news. Taking on an HOA in court is like bringing a rusty spork to a gunfight. These organizations are often represented by teams of high-powered lawyers who specialize in HOA law.
Meanwhile, you're left to navigate this legal labyrinth alone, armed with nothing but your righteous indignation and a dwindling bank account.
The sad reality is, many homeowners simply can't afford the time, money, and emotional energy it takes to fight back.
Chapter 4, Profit Over People, the HOA Business Model.
Let's be clear, not all HOAs are run by shady characters. Some are genuinely trying to maintain property values and create a sense of community.
You see, many HOAs are managed by for-profit companies whose primary goal is to make money. They collect fees, issue fines, and often have a financial stake in the vendors they hire.
Is the HOA truly acting in the best interest of the community, or are they more concerned with padding their bottom line?
We need to ask ourselves, are HOAs truly community-driven organizations, or are they simply another cog in the capitalist machine?
Chapter 5, Fighting Back. Reclaiming the American Dream, one lawn ornament at a time.
So what can be done? Is the American dream destined to be crushed under the weight of HOA tyranny? Not if we have anything to say about it.
First, knowledge is power. Read those HOA bylaws, attend those meetings, and familiarize yourself with your rights.
Second, there's strength in numbers. Connect with your neighbors, share your experiences, and form homeowner groups to advocate for change.
And finally, contact your elected officials, demand stricter oversight, transparency in HOA finances, and maybe even a cap on those outrageous fines.
Join the movement, share your story, and let's remind these HOAs that they work for us, the homeowners.
Chapter 6, Your Home, Your Rules, Hopefully.
Look, at the end of the day, everyone wants a safe, well-maintained community. But that shouldn't come at the expense of our basic rights, our financial security, or our sanity.
If you believe your HOA has crossed the line, don't be afraid to speak up, to organize, and to fight back.
Because when it comes to the American dream, we shouldn't have to choose between a well-manicured lawn and our fundamental freedoms.